it.
But let's catch up on the Olympics first. So, did you watch,
Yes.
happen to watch the men's, what do they call it? 10,000 meter. I don't know why they say 10,000 meter rather than 10Ks, but
10 kilometer.
yeah,
Yes.
10,000 meter run.
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, but it's crazy. I mean, these guys are like sprinting the whole way. Um,
Yeah.
so also I did my first UK park run on Saturday because my mum and dad are
Oh,
here
wow.
and they do the park run all the time. They've done over
Okay.
150 or something. So we
Wow.
went and did one a couple of towns away. 5 kilometers is a park run, and
Hmm.
this one was like a proper trail run. So in the first kind of 5-10 minutes, there's a steep uphill like this, and so everyone like
Okay.
jogs to the bottom of the hill, and then everyone walks up the steep uphill. It takes ages, and then you jog a little bit
Okay.
more as you go on. So my parents didn't get any personal bests on this one, but none of us did. So my mom beat me by a flying mile because she's
Okay.
a very fit 67-year-old.
Yeah,
And my niece beat all of us. She sprinted the whole way. 11-year-old niece. She
of course.
she beat all of us, and then I came third. My dad was a few minutes behind me, so that was fun. But I was just thinking, I mean, that took us 40. I think I did. My time was 42 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
These 10-kilometer Olympics guys are doing it in 20 minutes, 20 something minutes, like
Yeah.
10Ks. Obviously, it's flat, okay? If I was
No,
running on a
sure.
flat surface, maybe it would
Sure.
be easier. But yeah,
But I
they're
mean,
just
the,
phenomenal to
yeah,
watch.
it's phenomenal to watch. I'm sorry I missed that one. I caught some of the
100 meter.
1,500
Uh,
meter. Well, I caught the 100 meter. I watched the heats and kind of, the final. But I also caught the the heat for the 1,500 meter. And it's phenomenal, the lap times that they run, those
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
So it's something I must admit that I didn't pay too much attention or to try and find a schedule of which days,
Yes.
which events, etc. Because
We also
obviously
we
over the
just put the
weekend,
TV on and see what's there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously over the weekend for me was the golf was of interest, but then flipping back and forth. So I yesterday I caught the men's hammer throw.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, it's the first time in North American. It's first time in 60 years or whatever that a North American won this thing. A Canadian guy won it. His first throw, he just threw a phenomenal 84 point something meters.
Wow.
Um, I also managed to watch the ladies high jump final,
Okay.
which is a little bit of a letdown in terms of the you know kind of how the competition plays out. The different heights, and you get three tries, and obviously the better ones, I mean, they sail through the first three or
Yes.
four heights, and and then it becomes a little bit of a process of elimination. So there's not that excitement that you
Okay.
kind of hope for. And
Did you
then
see
obviously that
that
100
speaking of high
meters.
jump, did you see the
Yes.
man who's a package
Oh,
and his
with the
high jump?
pole vault.
Oh, it was pole vault,
Oh
yeah.
man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
That's
was,
I like
yeah,
the
that's
things that go
obviously all over
viral.
there.
So the other one is that Turkish shooter.
Yes, yes.
Like
Did
you
you
got
see him in
silver in the
this?
doubles. Oh yeah, because there was a
Correct.
female with him
There
that
was
no
a
one's talking
female.
about.
The Anyway, yeah, no. So these things are hilarious. They're funny,
Mm,
but oh, and I also got the kind of like some of the items of the men's decathlon,
okay.
which I also really enjoyed. So it's been a lot of fun kind of watching um,
Yeah. Did you
Um,
catch any of
I
the
must actually,
BMX? So
no,
BMX racing, like the track, BMX track, and also the
yeah,
BMX freestyle where they do tricks and things.
sure, no, no,
Insane,
okay,
insane. So the track one, I think I haven't watched a race where someone hasn't fallen off their bike, but they also
yeah,
their bikes look so funny because they're always up, like standing in a
yes,
standing position when they're racing, but when they sit at the end, it looks like they're on kids' bikes. They're like just look
yes,
like they're on these little kiddies' bikes, and their
tiny,
knees are
tiny
up
little
past
bikes.
the.
Yeah,
And so I
yeah,
enjoyed watching the
true.
BMX too, but it's scary. Like some of the ways that they fall over their handlebars, you think, oh, they land on their heads, and oh, and I also caught a
Mm.
little bit of the gymnastics, the men's gymnastics. There was a guy who was doing the, I don't know what it's called, the high bar. I think it's the high bar, and his hand guard split as he had done a
Whoops.
thing to catch the bar, and he got
Oh my
this
word.
massive, because he already had obviously calluses and blisters on his
Yeah.
hand, and it split open, so he had like a massive cut on his hand, and they gave him
Oh
time to
wow.
recover and come back again. But I think that thing, because he fell off
Yeah.
again the second time, and he still finished and did very well.
Okay.
But yeah, that was an unfortunate thing for him. I think that ruined his Olympics, his hand guard splitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh, and I watched. What was amazing was the 4x400 relay, the mixed one,
Yeah.
where the Dutch just basically with that phenomenal 800-meter athlete of theirs, Femke Bol,
Mm-hmm.
where they got her to run the final leg. And she just came out of nowhere and beat everyone else. So
Yeah.
that was phenomenal to watch. So I really enjoy the track and field events at the
Yeah.
moment.
Well, that 100-meter sprint, because there was a South African in that. He didn't come in the first five or something, but he beat the South African record.
So he
Um,
was fourth. He was
oh, was he
fourth
fourth? Okay.
in the
But that
final.
American, that American who came out of nowhere, he was like back of the pack, and he just came sprinting in the last like few seconds and came
Yeah.
second. I think he got silver.
Um, so the American actually won it. The
Oh, wasn't
American
it a
what's it, Noah Lyles. I
wasn't it
think
a
you
African? Or maybe I'm thinking of
no,
something else. Oh,
maybe you're thinking of one of the final heats, but in
uh,
the final Noah Lyle won from, I forget the guy's name, the Jamaican guy. But anyway, they both finished in 9.97 the second, so they had to go to the third
oh wow.
decimal of and then they gave it to Noah Lyle,
Wow.
which I'm a bit sorry about because yeah, don't quite like him. Didn't like his style and the way that he just seemed a little bit too full of
Yeah.
himself for my liking. But the pity for Akani Simbine, our guy,
Yeah.
is that he freaking always comes fourth or fifth in all of these big things. I mean,
Yeah.
and it was, if you look at the difference between first and fourth,
Mm-hmm.
it is
Marginal, yeah.
so freaking little.
Yes.
Um, and this is most probably going to be his last Olympics.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be around for another one. And it's a pity that he didn't get rewarded
But
for
at least he beat the
with at
national
least the
record.
bronze or whatever. Yeah, no, I mean, phenomenal times that they ran.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm looking forward to some more track and field action tonight.
Yeah. I don't know what's on, but we'll just put the TV on and see what comes up.
Yeah, I think the 1,500-meter men's final is tonight because they had
Okay.
all the so that I definitely know is on tonight. Um, the women's 100, that final, that was on Saturday. That was also
Yeah.
really nice to watch, and the the woman that won is from one of the smaller Caribbean islands.
Oh,
Which
St.
one is it?
Lucia. I just saw that one. Yeah,
St.
St.
Lucia or something
Lucia.
like
It's
that.
their
Yeah,
first ever medal in the Olympic Games.
yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
looking forward to this last week of the Olympics.
Yeah. And also that Shakari, is that her name? The girl that got disqualified for weed in the last Olympics or something, or was it in a different thing? She had
Yeah.
marijuana in her system, but she won one of her races,
Okay.
which was a nice win.
It was one of the heats.
Yeah.
I think she finished second.
Okay.
I think she got the silver in
Yeah.
the women's 100. Yeah, so the
Anyway,
200
lots of
and
fun things.
400 and 800, these things are going to be nice. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So give us an update.
So, as I mentioned, I was going to allow myself milk tart this weekend. I allowed myself a bit more than milk tart. I had some peppermint crisp pudding, I had milk tart, I had chocolate sauce, um, and I had broccoli and cauliflower with a cheese sauce because I had made it and I couldn't expect my
Okay.
guests to eat it if I wasn't eating it. So I had a little bit of broccoli and
Okay.
cauliflower. Um, but I knew I was going to not be as disciplined on that Saturday. I'd already kind of prepared myself
Sure.
for it. And I did feel more bloated afterwards and had like a bit of indigestion. Like I was definitely like a little bit burpy.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if that's from, I don't know what it's from, but it's from one of those things because for the past 2 weeks where I've been being quite good, I haven't had those symptoms. And those are symptoms I have always had when after I eat, but in the past 2 weeks I've noticed that I didn't have them. So there's that. Um, I have turned down a really delicious Devon ice cream twice when my family are getting ice creams.
Yeah.
And we went to, oh, that was the other cheat. Yesterday we were at the theatre and I had a bit of popcorn because we were at the theatre
Okay.
with my family. So we ate some popcorn. But I didn't eat any of the fruit pastilles my mom was passing around, or the wine guns, or the
Okay.
crisps. So I've been mostly disciplined, but Saturday was a difficult day. I felt worse for it. So
So yeah, so I mean, you mentioned some of the things that you kind of okay afterwards. It's noticeable to say, okay, cool. I actually now very very obvious that I've been a bit more bloated,
yeah,
and the kind of like the indigestion. Okay, cool. So that means that you are at a point where your system is kind of adapted to this, and for me, that's always nice to kind of have these things to
yeah,
help kind of just those signals of, oh, okay,
yes,
cool. I was actually feeling this shit all the time,
yes.
and
And I
now I
hadn't
know it's
actually
only
noticed that I
temporary.
wasn't feeling it
Correct.
for those 2 weeks, most of the 2 weeks, and then
Okay.
very quickly it came back. The one other thing, which I don't know if this is because I was badly disciplined on the weekend, or I think it might have happened before that. I've been getting really severe cramps in my calves, like very, very
Hmm.
severe.
Okay.
So that's been frustrating. Like it's kept
It,
me up at night.
okay. I was going to ask, is this
Yeah.
mostly while you sleep at night?
It's can't like if I stretch
Only.
my leg now, I could probably make it happen. I don't want
You
to
could
make that
probably,
happen.
yeah.
But
Okay. So,
mostly in bed, I think.
okay.
Yeah.
So, so that's also something that happened to me for quite a while, quite a long time. However, even before I started this lifestyle, I I know that for my every 6 month blood tests, my magnesium was low.
Mm-hmm.
So generally, this is a magnesium issue.
Yes.
Two things to combat that is this is one is take a magnesium supplement.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you take magnesium supplements, um, kind of check a little bit. There are so many different. So magnesium is responsible for, I don't know, 300 different processes in our body. It's very, very important that we get enough magnesium in. And the different types of magnesium. You'll see that when you start looking at supplements.
Yeah.
So the one that I found works best for me is magnesium glycinate.
Okay.
Okay. Um, um, but at the same time, also make sure that you get enough salt in.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor and buy decent salt.
Yeah. So I also actually bought Epsom bath salts because I heard you can also absorb salt through your skin.
Yeah, I tried that in the beginning as well. It did nothing for me.
Okay.
Honestly, it did nothing. I tried so many of these things. I tried a number of different magnesium
Yeah.
supplements, etc., etc. But um, I don't know. I don't know how much salt do you actually put
I
salt
put a
on
lot
your
of
food?
salt on my food. I
Okay.
do.
And do
But I've actually
you?
just bought, I haven't used it yet, but I've just bought like Dorset sea salt. So like a proper salt, not the one
Okay.
that you buy off the shelf at the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
supermarket.
Yeah, the iodized, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Don't. Okay. So switch to that
Mm.
Dorset sea salt immediately.
Yeah.
Make sure that you get enough salt in. I mean, you know, it's amazing. You can actually trust your taste buds.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
too much is too much. But if you um, if you feel like you want to add more salt, just add more
Yes.
salt.
Well, the other thing is the
Um,
electrolytes, because I said if I'm exercising,
yeah,
I'll have a sachet of electrolytes. So I had previously, when I was doing a different kind of healthy thing, I bought the LMNT ones, which I know are very good and they get
yeah,
recommended by lots of the carnivore people.
correct.
They are from America. They're quite expensive here. So I thought, let me try find an alternative. And I ordered two different ones off um, Amazon, and I've been using those two interchangeably. But I looked at the ingredients of the one yesterday and I was like, there are so many. They say if you can't pronounce the ingredients, it's probably not
Yes,
good. And there were so
yes.
many ingredients, and I was just looking because I know LMNT
Wow.
is just potassium, magnesium, sodium. That's all it is. And
Yeah.
these ones had like this long list of ingredients, and I thought, oh, maybe this is also not right. I need to get the expensive LMNT electrolytes rather if I'm going to do it.
It's interesting, don't go, is there not an alternative, a local alternative in the UK that
I
with
haven't
only
come
those
across
ingredients?
I
Okay.
haven't come across any, but I must maybe just look a bit harder. So there is a health shop called Health Healf, which is where I bought the LMNT. So they do all of like healthy ingredients. So I'll have a look if
Okay.
they've got any alternatives. I know there's some where you get like a container with powder that you put in rather than a little
Yeah.
sachet. So there might be some
Okay.
like that. I just haven't tried them yet.
So I use those, you know, very diligently in the beginning as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, now I don't. No, I don't. Especially in winter. In summer, I will definitely, when I'm outside, and I always make sure that I have a few of those in my golf bag as well,
Yeah.
So if I just want to add some to my water while I'm playing, you consume a lot more water. But in winter now, I probably haven't had one in about a month.
Mm.
I don't miss it. Um, so anyway, this is just a process that you kind of have to go through, is kind of get your magnesium levels up.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest is, like I say, it's a little bit more work required than to just buy the first
Mm-hmm.
supplement you see on the shelf. Just read up a little bit on them, the different ones. They, like most like most things, the side effects. Um, Kind of be aware of that.
Okay.
And pick one. Um, if they say that you can take up to whatever, take the maximum for now
Okay.
and see how that
Yeah.
make you feel. But yeah, I'm unfortunately now over that cramping, and I know that my magnesium levels have now kind of stabilized. I still take a magnesium supplement, but I only take one
Okay.
one at night. one glycinate, which is I think a 300 or 500 milligram. I can't even remember now.
Okay.
But yeah, that's very common now.
Yeah, it was bad. Like it was the worst leg cramp I've ever
Yes.
had in my life. And it was about 2 nights ago, I think, where I was up the
Oh,
whole night. I kept having to
yes.
jump up, stretch it out, and then get back into bed. And then it happens again, jump out, stretch it out, get back into bed. So yeah, I didn't have a great night's
Yes.
sleep. Last night I went to bed so early. I was exhausted probably from the night before. So I was in bed by about 8:30. I think I only went to sleep at
Okay.
10:30, but I was reading my book and just chilling out. So
Yeah.
I had a good night's sleep last night. Um,
Okay.
so other things that I noticed, but I might just be picking things up that are due to something else or whatever, but my nails feel stronger. They're like a lot longer. Um, and my gray hairs have not come back as aggressively as they usually do. They usually grow quite quickly after I've just had my hair done. So I feel like I have to go
Okay.
again. But my gray hairs, I can see some, but they're not as aggressive as they were before. So I don't know if that's
Okay.
a side effect of cutting out some of the bad stuff.
That is definitely, look, obviously things like nails and so on, it's, as far as I can tell, is very common for people to start seeing the change in
Yeah,
things like that. Hair growth, uh, nail growth, nail strength, as you say, because
yeah,
you are now feeding your body with sufficient nutrients.
yeah,
And especially, around the collagen rich kind of type of stuff. Um, so the more sinewy bits of the meat,
yeah.
really good,
Well, I
really
had a
good.
great bone marrow the other day as well.
Oh,
So the rest of the family had stew. I had some
uh-huh,
diced lamb, and so they made a stew. And I tried to pick out little bits, but it was covered in all sorts of stuff. So I had like maybe
yeah,
1 or 2 pieces of lamb, and then I made myself bone marrow. I ate like 4 or 5 bone marrow bones.
nice,
Yeah.
fantastic. Anyway, so yeah, it's good that you're starting to observe these things.
Yeah.
Tell me, in energy wise, how are you feeling? I know you kind of have
Yeah, it's
family
difficult because I've got
there, and
family
there's
here.
it's quite difficult to judge.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't so because I was trying to do my 5Ks a day, but since I've got family here, it's been more difficult having me going to the gym. We've been walking a lot, but I haven't been at the
Sure.
gym. So, um, like I say, last night I was exhausted, but that's from staying up the whole night before with my leg cramp.
Mm,
So, I think I haven't noticed a huge change, but again, it's because we're very busy. There's lots of people around and
sure.
things happening. So at this stage, I haven't. And also, I've cheated a few times, so I feel like I wouldn't have had a huge effect yet.
Well, you say you cheated a few times, but if you could compare that to
Yeah.
what your
I,
normal diet
yeah.
was, you know, it's like, I don't know, is this 90% less sugar than you used to consume? Is it
Probably
95%?
99% probably.
It's probably 99%,
Yeah, so
because,
I would have had like a sweet or snack every day. Some kind of a
mm,
chocolate or a packet of crisps or something. Like I would have had something
yeah,
sweet
yeah,
every day. And
correct,
now
correct.
I'm
But
not.
it's not just in the sweet stuff
Mm,
where the sugar is,
hmm.
it's like in everything else, all
Yeah.
the sauces, all the, yeah, in the foods, etc., etc. So, so you've already cut out so much, um, and the amount that you consumed over the weekend, your body is probably very capable of kind of handling that without having to um, put some other important things on hold while
Yeah.
it deals with this. So, um, tell me, so in none of the activities, so swimming, have you been swimming?
A little bit. Yeah, we went for a swim
Okay,
yesterday. It was cold. We
okay,
weren't in for that long.
okay. No, because I'm just trying to pick out, like, for example, like you said, you earlier when you mentioned after what you ate on Saturday, you kind of like, I felt indigestion and I felt bloated, which I didn't really notice was gone.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if maybe energy-wise, which is why I'm trying to pick out some of the
Yeah.
activities. You
So we did the
don't you
park run
find
on
that you,
Saturday morning. I
yeah,
probably felt a bit stronger than I usually do doing. Well, I
okay,
haven't done an outdoor run in a long time because I've been
sure,
just running on the treadmill. So it was tough and
yeah.
it was really like trail runny and up and down. Um, but I suppose I
So
managed to almost keep up with my mother, which is not a bad thing.
yeah, there's also, you know, all the other
Hmm.
activities that kind of for the rest of the day that followed on that and so on.
Yeah.
So just pay attention for those kind of things and kind of see if you actually, maybe if I look back at it, you're gradually getting used to this new level of efficiency that you
Yeah.
operate at. Um, so that'll
I've
that'll be interesting to see.
I've been waking up a lot easier. So I definitely was a snoozer. But I've been kind of waking up before my alarm and I'm awake and I'm ready to journal and read my book and um
Oh my goodness, that's significant. That is
no
significant.
snoozing. Once I'm awake, I'm
That
awake.
should tell you, yeah, that should tell you a hell of a lot in terms
Yeah.
of listen how your body is able to kind of rest, repair, and get you ready for the next day.
Yeah.
That's a positive thing. And the other thing is, again, this might maybe a difficult one, but mood. Have you found that your mood has changed?
I'm always in a good mood.
Sure.
I generally am not a very moody person anymore. Maybe I used to be, but the I've been pretty positive and not so moody as long as I've lived in the UK, I think, which is weird. The weather hasn't made me worse, it's made me better. But the sun's been shining, so that could also influence being in a really. I've been in a good mood. I've been happy. No,
No, so
yeah,
look, I'm not asking whether you're happier than you
yeah.
were or whatever, but I think one's general mood in terms of um, go for it.
I was going to say last week when we spoke, I was telling you that I was feeling that carnivore confidence and I was feeling quite body positive
Yeah,
and
yeah.
feel so I didn't have that this week, but I think it's because I was cross with myself for eating the milk tart and the bimbo crust pudding. I didn't
Yeah,
feel the same confidence that I felt last week. So I'm trying to get back
okay.
to that as well with trying to be good again.
Yeah, so you know, obviously, like we said last week, is just accept that these are the things that you were going to do. Didn't
Yeah.
it wasn't something that blindsided you and you felt like I was completely out of
No.
control or whatever. You knew exactly what the situation was. So, okay, cool, that's it. And you've gained something from it, in my opinion, by feeling what it feels. Oh shit,
Yeah.
bloated, indigestion. I used to feel like this all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's not how I feel anymore. So that's something really positive to take out of it. I think one's mood. So what I started, I'm about 95% done with an I've been thinking, and one of the things that I've been thinking and is right about is the I think it's a Tony Robbins construct. Change your state
Mm-hmm.
and how easy it is for us to change our state. In other words, bringing good energy um, is conducive to good results. I'm not
Yeah.
saying good energy will always yield good results, but bad energy almost never yield good results.
Yeah.
So I, I, for me personally, it is now something that I'm kind of making notes about on a daily basis. I score myself like
Mm-hmm.
with um, things that I do from time to time. If I want to if I want to see how I'm doing, then I make it part of my little routine of what I jot down in the morning. So I check whether I'm bringing good energy to the day.
Mm-hmm.
Am I feeling, so now I just decided on a very simple scale of 3 pluses, that's the max, and 2 pluses and 1 plus, and obviously
Mm-hmm. Are there any
the
minuses?
not yet, not yet. So far I've been really good, and I
Yeah.
think part of it is because I consciously think about this,
Yes.
about what energy am I going to bring to today. Um, and that is kind of like everything that I do, whether that is a work activity, whether that is my exercise, um, whether that is kind of like even my leisure activities. So when I when I sit down and watch the Olympics, am I bringing good energy to this? May
Mm-hmm.
sound a little bit trite or silly. Why would I want to do that? But at this point, it's quite important for me, and I find it a hell of a lot easier to bring that good energy.
Yeah.
So why do I kind of keep going on about this good energy, and how do you feel and mood and so on? I think we all know that if we in a positive and a good state, that we deliver better work.
Yeah.
So I find that I'm able to concentrate a little bit better if I focus on that. So whether that is a um, again a work activity, or when I try to finish a piece of work, or even when it's a leisure activity while I'm
Mm-hmm.
playing golf, there's it's like X number of seconds on every shot that intense focus um, really helps the result. So I'm seeing benefits in that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I think maybe something to consider is kind of like check,
Yeah.
even though you in this like a family year, it's nice, it's summer. Um, it's really good to hear that you're doing a lot of outdoor stuff, because obviously vitamin D
Yeah.
is so important. Um, any other positive changes that you've encountered?
I think just the one of the things I've been thinking about is the strength of mind, my willpower, because I didn't think I could go this long without eating a chocolate. So also my mom bought me my favorite chocolates, Cote d'Or, the
Okay.
elephant chocolates, the red box of,
Yeah.
and they're all individual
Okay.
chocolates. And I thought to myself, well, when I get to a point where I'm comfortable with having a chocolate, I can just have one of those, just one little chocolate, and then and when she gave it to me, I just put it straight in my cupboard, and I said, in 6 weeks' time, I'll look at it and think about whether I want it or not. So
Okay.
I actually haven't thought about it until this moment. It's been in my cupboard. And I've still got those Ferrero
Whereas
Rochers sitting at the
previously,
back of my other cupboard. Yeah,
whereas previously this would have been, more of a, I have some chocolate left.
yeah.
That's a
And
very
also, I
good
wouldn't have been
observation.
able to stop with one. If I opened them and
Mm.
I had one, then I'd go, oh, I can have one more. They're small. I can have another one. It's small. It's fine. But now I'm quite
So,
determined that when I do open that box and when I am going to have them, I'm going to have one, and then I'm going to put the box away again.
so do you think? So I think it's a very very good observation. Um, Even if you think that you don't have the willpower
Mm-hmm.
to then establish, well, okay, cool, I can actually say no.
Yeah.
And I don't feel, it's not like I'm sitting here and I have the willpower, but it's on my mind the whole time. I wish I could have that chocolate. I wish I could have my
Yeah.
chocolate. Like you said, you don't even think about it. And don't you think that part of that, the fact that you don't think about it, is because you're feeding your body with nutritious
Yes.
food now,
Yeah.
rather than with just crap?
Yes. And I also think so. I made that cottage cheese berry ice creamy
Yeah?
thing. I have two little Tupperwares of it from that first time I made it, which was weeks and weeks ago.
Okay.
And I've eaten about half of the one little Tupperware like over in the beginning. I think in the towards the end of the first week of doing it, I was eating that at night. Now I don't actually even crave it or want it. It's just sitting in the freezer. But I think knowing that it's there if I do get a sweet craving is quite a good
Yeah.
feeling, and knowing that that'll be okay. I don't need to have something more than that. Same with the Greek yogurt. I think the fact that I'm allowing myself the Greek yogurt and that cottage cheese in the freezer, it means that when I feel like I have a sweet craving, there is something for me to satiate it with. But I haven't
Yeah.
actually needed it. I only wanted, like, I wasn't feeling
That's
like sweet
amazing, huh?
food when the milk tart was out either. It was just that I had said I was going to have the milk tart and it looked nice and I wanted some, but I didn't crave it. I haven't been craving the rest of the peppermint crisp tart that's sitting in my
Yeah.
fridge.
But that's
Yeah.
amazing, huh?
Yeah.
And that's quite quick that you kind of went through this, and that was the one thing that you thought
Hmm.
was going to really be a big struggle.
Yeah. And then also just snacking. I mean, snacking is a habit, just snacking in general. So I have still been snacking a little bit, but I'm snacking on biltong or
Yeah.
churros or things like that, or the a little piece of leftover boerewors from the braai or something like that. So when I feel like a snack, I'm not going for the crisps and nuts and sweet things.
So are you snacking or are you hungry?
um, I think it's when I'm bored. I still have that problem that
Okay.
when I'm a bit bored, I'll go open the fridge and see what can I have.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But
But maybe I'm also hungry. Like last night, I didn't eat dinner because I was so tired. I just went straight to bed. This morning I had two boiled eggs because I was starving.
mm,
And I'll eat something after this as well. So, it could also be that I'm hungry and I'm not eating enough. Definitely before
yeah,
my parents came, I was making two steaks and eating one and a half of them. And now, because we're eating all together, I'm having a couple of pork sausages while they have sausages and mash and
yeah,
gravy,
yeah.
so maybe it is also that I am hungry.
I think, yeah, I think you must allow yourself, not think, okay, cool, this is part of my bad snacking habit. This may actually be, I'm
Yeah,
hungry. My body is telling me that I'm hungry, and I'm get comfortable with eating there.
yeah,
But that's phenomenal progress. I mean, and this all happened in like 2 weeks.
yeah. I'm only on day 15 today, the start of my third
Day,
week.
f- day 15. If I told
Yeah.
you 15 days ago that you will be mostly over your sugar addiction
Yeah.
by now, would you have believed it?
I haven't had an ice cream in 2 weeks. And I've got, so because my niece is here, I stocked up. I've got
Okay.
Cornettos, Magnums, Snickers ice cream. I've got them all
Yes.
sitting in the
Okay.
freezer. And I haven't needed one yet.
That is extremely
Yeah.
powerful, huh? To have all of
Yeah.
those things there and not feel like I'm really battling to not go and have an ice
Yeah.
cream or
No,
to not,
I'm feeling
participate
good.
when okay.
I'm feeling strong.
That's phenomenal. That's
I
phenomenal.
actually wrote in my
Um,
journal this morning because one of the prompts is today I feel, or what is it? Today I am, and I said I'm not controlled by my sugar addiction.
yeah. So one last thing that you haven't mentioned, alcohol, is that
Oh, actually, I had champagne on Saturday. I forgot about that.
okay?
Um, Matthew's aunt. She's
Of all the
very difficult to say no to. And she popped the champagne, and I said, "I'm actually on a healthy eating. I'm not having any alcohol." And she said, "It doesn't count on the weekends." So she poured me a glass of champagne. So I
out of
had some
all the
champagne,
possible
and then
alcohols,
I
you go
know,
for,
and
for
I
champagne.
kept topping it up with sparkling water so that she
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah.
top it up with more champagne, but she would catch me, and then I was in trouble. I see you diluting it with sparkling water.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, I did have a
Yeah.
little bit of champagne, but nothing else. I didn't have
But that
beer
was,
or anything.
so again, that was peer pressure.
Yeah, that was absolutely pure. I even said to Matthew and my parents before, I was like, I'm not drinking today. I'm not having anything. And then as soon as I was in a
Yeah.
situation where I couldn't say no, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was peer pressure rather than you
Oh yeah, I didn't need it.
abandoning your resolve and feel
No,
like, oh, I'm gonna have a drink now, otherwise I
I
feel
didn't
I'm
need
missing
it
out
or
and so
want
on.
it.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
as soon as I was
Yeah.
able to just change to the sparkling water, I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, there's a hell of a lot to
Yeah.
feel good about, to
So no
feel
alcohol
great
in
about,
two
yeah.
weeks either. Yeah, other than the
Wow.
champagne.
Okay.
Yeah.
Geez, no chocolate, no alcohol, no ice cream,
Sad life.
no.
But
Not at
that's
all.
people's
Not
reaction.
at
So that
all.
was when I was talking to Kim about it. That's her reaction is, oh, how boring,
Yeah.
or how do where's the fun?
So I can tell you that when you do have an ice cream,
Yeah.
you're going to appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're going to enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, that's how I felt with my milk tart as well, actually. I really enjoyed it. I
Yes,
had a small little piece, but it was a
exactly.
good piece of milk tart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, okay, cool, it's there, so I'm going to eat it. I'm
Yeah.
not really. But anyway, so all of these things, when people say that you miss out, and I can't remember who was it that said it, and I'll conclude with this is that nothing tastes as good as feeling good does.
Yeah.
So, if I can always relate this back to how do I feel, or how will that make me feel? Um, having 6 beers sounds like a hell of a lot of fun, but it's going to make me feel like shit.
Yeah.
And now that I know what it feels like to be really feeling good, and that my body is functioning properly. And then I'm talking about my digestive system, my clarity, all of these
Yeah.
things combined, you know. Um, so anything specific that you're going to focus on in the next 2 weeks, or is it just more of the same?
Probably more of the same and more of saying no to all the snacks that my mum brings out. There were zoo biscuits too I had to say no to. Astros, zoo biscuits, wine gums.
Good heavens.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was
Okay.
making some toasted rolls this morning, which smelt amazing. No toasted rolls for me.
Yeah.
So I think
Okay.
it's definitely the next couple of weeks are definitely about willpower and saying no.
Sure.
But
Okay.
I'm not it's not feeling like too much of a struggle.
Yeah.
It feels good to
No,
say
I
no.
think yeah, if you just keep eating enough, make sure that you eat enough. Um, and now that you've tasted what it tastes like to actually have that willpower and say no, and you don't
Yeah.
want to break that streak, ride that wave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Cool. Thanks, Herman.
Fantastic.
Thanks for your
Well done.
support. It's nice to have a pro carnivore.
uh,
Cool.
no, I'm just shy of 11 months.
Okay.
So yeah.
You're gonna
So
have a
no, it's
steak cake
fantastic.
for your 1 year. Put a candle in your cake, in your steak cake.
Oh wow. Yeah, I must start planning that. I must order that. Maybe I'll have a big ass tomahawk steak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like
Cool.
fun. Okay, cool.
All right.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Ali.
Herman.